So, welcome back to part two. In part one, we dealt with DXY, the euro dollar and pound USD, and you can watch that. And so the part two, it's where I'm going to talk about the NZD USD briefly, the USD JPY, and the gold. So let's look at the NZD USD. NZD USD, what do we expect here? So looking at this, let's look at the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, so we also expect on the weekly time frame, we expect that price probably will still correct without breaking this area now. Price will correct without breaking this area, then to go down one more time. Now, this is the limit of this correction. So price may break this area or not, but you must be very careful when you are selling NZD USD. Like I've opined that this is a W, probably an X. It may get to 100 extension or not. If you look at that, an 100 extension, we said, is around this area. So which price may not come to that area. So it's a bit trickish here. So what we should look for now, what is obvious to me here, it's this area of resistance that once price begins to break it up from here, then we are bullish again. So for now, a correction and further downside. We may not see what we ABC, like an ABC to the downside as with euro dollar as well as pound dollar or DXY, but this is a little different. We are going to see some contractions here. That's what I think. And if price gets here, it may just, bottom and begin to go up from here. And if it breaks it, all you need to do is to monitor the DXY and other majors to know where we're going to recede from here. So it's a bit tricky trading NZD USD, but we know that we are still upside. At least we need to finish this leg to complete the correction. So what we are seeing around here, it's a correction to this move. It's a big move here. And all we have seen for years now, it's correction in between here. And we still need one more big push to the upside, which we have not gotten. So price may be tricky to play and break below here or not before we go to the upside. For me, I'll be watching for this resistance to be broken on the weekly time frame. This resistance is what I'll be watching for on the weekly time frame. This resistance now. Let's look at it. This resistance is what I'll be looking for. That is my limit. That's the resistance I'll be looking for now. I may just make it tick. Yes, that's the resistance I'll be looking for now. Now let's look at pound USD, USD JPY. This is another instrument that is, try your patience. And what can we see? We saw this as a move to correct the entire run. Yeah, what we've been having, it's all this while it's this, and we believe that this had been an ending structure, and that this is the first move of correction that has broken the primary fall here. This primary fall is taken here, and that this is more or less a reclaim or a correction, which looks impulsive. Impulsive on the second run, because if you can decide this is a 1 and this is a 2, or a B, and this is like a C to the upside, it's more extended, but it's about ending. You can see that a week almost closed, and this is what we are getting, a doji here. It's almost running out in a doji. So what I expect now is this to run also in an ending structure. And that is what I think on the weekly time frame. This is running in an ending structure. I want to show us some things for us to see. It's running in an ending structure. We see that this is a correction here, probably an A, sorry, an A, B, and a C to the downside. So once we take 1513.27, it's a big fall. So, but before we get there, we'll see. So, but for now, I can see that this from here came down as an A, B, and a C structure. Then immediately after that B structure, began to see some movement. So the movement we are seeing here, this looks like a 1, and to this point, a 2, a 3, a 4. And we are seeing that this is the last wave to the upside, like a 5. Now, seeing this, I don't know if you got that. I'm going to show us a couple of things here. And after this correction, an A, B, and a C to the downside here. So before we began to see this move, we had an ABC, which is a low here. This is a low here. And after this low, we ran to the upside here as a 1. Price came down here as a 2. The third wave to the upside of that ending structure. The fourth wave, I believe this is the fifth wave going up. So the fifth wave going up, we are going to see also running in another 5-wave structure or substructure to finish up. That's what I can see here. And before going inside of this place, let me do something. Before we go inside of this place to digest this place, okay. So before we digest that place, I want us to show something also. What I want to show is on the monthly time frame, where we expect that we might be changing. So the price action, it's also very corrective. You can see what we are seeing here. You may call it a morning star, but this is not a morning star here. You think it's going to run up? No. It's a correction, it's a corrective format, it's the ending structure here. Now, this is where I want us to see something here. You want to look at this price action here. This price action here is a place for me that we must be ready to fall. I don't think price is going to break above here before we fall. This hammer, this red hammer, we must be watching for price action around that area. For me, I would pick a resistance zone here around the tip. You can see the tip of this red hammer, that tip there, and the base here. The base is where this red hammer opens and opens here and closes. So where this red hammer closes and where this green, the bullish hammer opened, so that's area between that zone, very slim and slender zone. That's where I'm going to mark as red zone. So let me put out my marker so we can see those marker here between here and here. That zone is pretty much where I will be watching for price action. So, and it's up here. It's up here. Now, back to interpreting what is happening around this area. Like I said, let me go back to the weekly time frame. Going back to the weekly time frame, I said that I see this as a correction here and a first push of wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and this is wave 5. So wave 5 in itself is going to be divided into sub 5, and which may take the bottom, may break the top. We are yet to see a weekly price action for that sells or suggests that bears are ready, but any moment from now, I don't see price breaking 158. 158 is here, which is at the top of that hammer around this area. I don't see price breaking this area. But we are going to watch out for price. But I've been selling and selling and selling and having kind of a probably put on break even. So I'd had to be taken out on 1 or 2 occasions on break even. So that will not debar me, because I would rather be taken out on break even to look for sell opportunity again until that movement begins. I don't want to miss it. So let's look at the daily. What are we seeing here at the daily? That zone I talked about. Let me bring out the drawing so that we know where. So this is where at March. This is where at March. And like I said, to me, this is where we had the last correction, which is 4. And I said this is like a wave 1 and a wave 2 and a wave 3. And to me, this is like a wave 4. So breaking below here is another thing entirely. We have to wait and see, are we going to break below here? Because this is where we must not break now. This is a red area that once it's taken, then it's something else. That's the red area that once we take this area, we are going down again. But again, before we get to that, we must be looking at what is forming around this area. This also area, it's a very big area. I don't think price should take. Let me use, what do I use for that? This for it, no. Yeah, that for it. So I don't want to believe that price is going to take it. So this correction here, this went down sharp. So we thought that we are seeing the first move. This could easily turn out to be a wave 1 and a wave 2 and more downside. It could turn out to be anything. So that's why we have to be very careful. It could turn out to be anything. It could turn out to be anything because wave 3 is gone. If this is 1, I think it's 1 ending structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are within 5. That's what I think. So this will be a 1 and a 2, and we may be going out to around 3, 4, 5, around this area to finish within this zone. This is the marked area of that bullish, the armor within this zone. And this zone, upper zone, also tallies with about 78 retracement, which we are already at 76 retracement. So if it's truncated, it's allowed. And if it comes here, it's still allowed. I think we are very close to where we are going to be seeing the end of this. Okay, oh, this is the first part of it. Yes, yes, around that area. So we are very close to it. We need to see what is playing out here. So if price decides to come down, so it may mean that this wave 4 has not bottomed. That what we term as wave 4 here for 5 has not bottomed. But looking at what price action I'm getting here, it looks as if price may still want to come down. Even look at this price action also. It seems we are not yet done come to the downside. So it's very tricky. It's very tricky. Not until the price will make nonsense of this area. If price should break this area, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Otherwise, we would have seen an A, B, and a C to finish this. But if price should break this area, then this turns out to be a wave 1, A, B, and a C, and we turn down. So it could be anything, but I think I will still support more of the up movement for now. I will still support that price is going to break up one more time, but maybe it's not down to come to it's not done to come to the downside yet. That's what I think. I can't go on, and so if you say we are going to look for an 100 extension from here to if this has completed a movement of A and a B, and if it's going to be going to the downside, let's see, look at that possibility of the price going to the downside. To finish the fourth wave at 100. So if it's going to finish the fourth wave at 100, let's use blue. So price will still come to this area. Price may still come to this area to finish up this wave, very deep, and price will push up if it's not pushing up from here. So for now, if you are buying, buy cautiously. And again, if you are selling, selling with break even until we see that big move. So I think it's still a little undone in this zone, but I think we may still come down. So if price should come down, you take a buy cautiously and guiding with stop loss. But once the price begins to break this area, is a big deal for me. Breaking this area, then it's going to break this area, then we are coming to the downside. So with that, I think I'm done with that. So let's look at gold. And we're going to finish up there. Gold. Gold is a bit funny. Gold is a bit funny. We had expected that we're going to see an ABC move. But the fact that this B wave had been taken, it's a big deal. The fact that this B wave has been taken is a big deal. And that may suggest that we're on a bullish run again, and all we should expect is a correction for further upside. That's what I think. But there are two schools of thought, and I believe the only thing you can do with this school of thought is you wait and see structure. If we see a price action to sell guiding your stop loss. In case this one you return to be an X wave and the price is going to fall again. Except that. But with what I'm seeing, with where DXY is, this would rather look like we are correcting this wave to the downside for further upside. That is the way it's kind of looking like now. We're probably with one of five, then we're having with 2 of 5 and a long 3 for us to break here again. So if I were you, I will look for price action to sell. So once I see price action again to buy, I will buy. I will buy and I will wait until probably it knocks my sell off with little profits or break even. And I will also be guiding my stop loss here. So, but again, if it corrects in 3 waves to the downside, that confirms that this is now bullish. If it corrects in 3 waves to the downside for a push, then it confirms. We didn't see that correction here. It's been bullish. What looks close to that correction is this. Because in an ending structure, of course, we see three waves. So if we look at this as a 3 waves in an ending structure, is that we are believing that this is the first part of the move, and this is the second part of the move in an ending structure of that wave 1 of the ending structure, which is the 5th wave to the upside. So this might be an AB. Then we look for at least an 100% or 1, 2, 3 extension to the upside. And at that area, we should expect a reaction for us to see probably a 4-hour candle to sell. And if we are selling, we'll take it as if we are not selling a second arm to the downside to break low, but cautiously, it could just be a correction. And we'll watch the way a manner is corrected to the downside. If it corrects it without breaking this bottom here, if it does not break this bottom here, and it's going to push up again, or rarely breaks it and push up again, they were going to buy from there. Now, what do I mean by this an ABC? So this is it. So you're taking this as the first wave of an A and a B, The 100 is here, and 123 is here without breaking the top here. This is 161.8, which breaks the top. So I believe within this zone now, we should see price action, probably around 76 area. This is an 100 before we get to 76. Between this area, 27, 23 or 24, 27, 30, and 27.50 or 48. This zone, if I see a 4-hour candle closure, a price action, then I will want to take a sell from here and put a stop loss and see the way price will navigate and correct. If it corrects in 3 waves, then that confirms that we are correcting this entire run and we're going to run up again. So I think with that, I've come to the end of today's update. Happy trading.